I was given the opportunity very recently of choosing any drone I wanted as a birthday gift. So obviously I'm going to choose a DJI drone. So what were my options, or what did I feel my options were? Well, the Mini 4 Pro, the Air 3, the Mavic 3, the Mavic 3 Classic and the Mavic 3 Pro. Those were my 5 options that I thought I had. Rather than just choose one out of the 5, I thought I'll eliminate them and see what I'm left with should suit me best. So straight away I eliminated the Mini 4 Pro. Why? I've already got a Mini 2 and a Mini 3 Pro, and I don't believe that the Mini 4 Pro is much of an upgrade, if any upgrade at all, to the Mini 3 Pro. So it's gone. Next, the Air 3. Eliminated it. Why? Because 2 reasons. The main reasons were, first of all, the camera is not any better than the camera on the Air 2S, and if you're buying a new drone and you can choose any drone you want, obviously you want a much better camera. So it's out for that reason. And the other reason is that I have a DJI RC Pro as my controller. It's a game-changing controller. It's much better than the RC or the RC2, and the Air 3 is not compatible with it. So Air 3, you're out. That leaves me with the Mavic 3, the Mavic 3 Classic or the Mavic 3 Pro. They're basically the same drone. They all have the fantastic Hasselblad camera as the main camera, and that is the best camera that you can get on a consumer drone at the moment. The difference between the 3 is that the Mavic 3 also has a telezoom lens, a x7 telezoom lens, and the Mavic 3 Pro has a x7 telezoom lens and a x3 telezoom lens. So 3 cameras on the one drone, or 2 cameras on the one drone, or 1 camera on the one drone. So obviously you want more than 1 camera if you can have it. So the Mini 3 Classic is eliminated. So that leaves me with the Mavic 3 or the Mavic 3 Pro. Which one do I go for? The obvious choice you would think would be the Mavic 3 Pro, because it's got 3 cameras, it's a newer drone. Obviously, if there's any slight hardware or software changes, they're going to be better in the newer drone. But I eliminated the Mavic 3 Pro, and I eliminated it because it's over 900 grams. Now, that makes a massive difference. If you are flying in any EU country, plus a few others like Liechtenstein, Iceland, I think maybe Norway, a few others, you can fly it in the C1 class category, which means you can fly it with the exact same restrictions that you have with a mini drone. That's in the EU, not in the UK, but I personally believe that the UK will eventually adopt the EU C classification for a few reasons I'm not going to go into right now, but to outline, it's too expensive, too time consuming and too much hassle to try to come up with our own brand new classification system, get it passed through Parliament, get all the regulations in order, get all the labels printed. It's unfeasible. And I think eventually they'll say, look, let's just fall into line with the EU, adopt theirs. So it's already in place. All we have to do is say we're going to adopt that. I think they will, which means that in the UK, I'll be able to fly the Mavic 3 as if it was a mini drone with the same restrictions. Okay? And that's why I chose this Mavic 3 here, the Wallace, as my drone of choice when I had the option of buying any drone. Now, you can't fly it as if it was a mini drone at the moment in the UK, but with the A2C, you only have to have a distance of 50 metres away, and that's where the telezoom camera comes in. I can be way further than 50 metres away. Using the telezoom lens, I can get as good a footage as if I was right up beside them, which you can't actually do at the UK in the moment with this size of drone. So for all of those reasons, I went with the Mavic 3. And the reason that I wanted the telezoom lens rather than saving a bit of money by buying the Mavic 3 Classic that doesn't have the telezoom lens is for one reason, and that is if you're going to do a parallax around something like this, a structure, this is the Barony A-frame here in Auchinleck in the East Ayrshire, in the south of west of Scotland. If you're going to do a parallax around something like that, when you use a tele zoom lens, you get that movie cinematic compressed effect that you just don't get by using a normal lens, or a normal lens where you're going to zoom digitally. And I'm going to show you that right now, because I'm going to send the Wallace, this Mavic 3 drone up, and I'm going to parallax around that Barony A-frame using just the Hasselblad lens itself. Then I'm going to use a digital zoom and parallax, and then I'm going to use the second camera, the tele zoom lens, and do a parallax. And what I'll do is we'll move to the studio and analyse the 3 different bits of footage and just see what the differences are in that parallax effect. So first of all, a parallax around the A-frame with no zoom whatsoever. And now I'm going to pull the Wallace back and zoom in using the digital zoom and do the same parallax. And as you'll see in the screen recording, I've turned the side camera on so that as I parallax round, I can see, using the sensor cameras, if there's anything to the side of me, which is one of the best features that you can get on the Mavic 3 drones. I absolutely love that feature. It's invaluable when you're flying sideways, even better than the obstacle avoidance. So that's a parallax with the digital zoom. So what I'll do now is I will switch to the x7 camera. And I'll have to fly back a bit again. So with this times 7 camera, I can actually do a, well, I can do a spotlight zoom, a spotlight parallax and that too. So times 7 zoom. As you'll see, the spotlight zoom in that one isn't fantastic. So what I may do is I may just do a manual parallax. So on the times 7 zoom, a manual parallax, and this will take a bit of doing. My skills need a bit of improving. I need to come out and practice a bit more. My skills aren't fantastic. So there we go. The 3 different types of, well, the same parallax, but with no zoom in, a 3 times digital zoom, and then the 7 times tele zoom lens that you get with the Mavic 3 drone. So let's switch over to the studio now, and I'll have a bit of an analysis on those 3 different camera selections for the parallax. So you can see in this parallax with just the absolutely normal Hasselblad lens with no zoom, it looks fantastic. It's a great parallax and it looks really good. It's no different from a parallax you can get with any other drone, other than obviously because of the better camera, it's a much better piece of footage. But the actual parallax itself looks exactly the same as you could get from pretty much any other drone. Moving on to the times 7 tele, you can see the compression there. The background is much closer to the A-frame itself, and it does give that action movie, the Mission Impossible type effect as you're spinning round something. The background's moving much faster and it's much closer, and you could probably imagine that with a bit of kind of actiony type music in the background. It might look something like this. And then on to the times 3 digital zoom, which to me looks really no different from the effect you get with an unzoomed lens, just the standard wide angle lens that you get in the Hasselblad camera. It looks no different at all, except that it's not quite as sharp, and it's taking longer to parallax round because obviously you're further away. So this is the effect you'd get with a Mavic 3 Classic. And looking at all of the clips side by side, you can see what I'm talking about with the effect, that movie effect with the times, the tele zoom lens that you just don't get. If you look at the times 3 digital zoom, you just don't get that effect. And the only way you can achieve that effect is by using a tele zoom lens. And I just think it's absolutely fantastic. It's an effect. It's not something that you would use every time you're doing a parallax. You would probably use just a normal lens for most occasions. But when you do want that movie effect, there's only one way of achieving it, and that is with a tele zoom lens. So those are my reasons why I chose the Mavic 3 for my birthday gift, even when I had the choice of the Mavic 3 Pro and any other drones. So I'd like to hear what you think about my choice. Leave a comment telling me whether you agree with me or whether you think I should have gone for the Pro version, or you think I should have gone for maybe the Air 3 or maybe the Mini 4 Pro. I'd be really interested to know what you think, and I'd be very interested to know what you are thinking about for your next drone, for when you eventually decide you're going to buy a new drone. Has what I've shown here today made any difference to that decision? Or have you pretty much decided what it is that you want? Give me a wee thumbs up if you got anything out of this video. See you on the next one.